Yo, what's up guys? It's Nots here back with another video, and today we're going to be going over pitching tips. First thing we're going to go over is the settings, and then I will cover certain pitch sequences that you guys can use, and also we're going to be covering tunneling and a couple of good pitching cameras that I like to use. So let's start with our settings first. If you guys are new around here, please consider subscribing. We've been grinding this game out and trying to get as many tips out there as we can. Be sure to check out my hitting PCI settings in the previous videos that I've made. You guys have been awesome so far. I appreciate the support. Let's get into our settings. Okay, so if you go into our settings and then go to the pitching tab, here's all the different settings that you guys are going to want to change. Difficulty doesn't really matter. I always keep it on all-star. Pitching interface, you want to do pinpoint. Guys, if you guys are looking to be competitive and play a lot of ranked seasons and online, pinpoint is going to help you guys out. If you're not on pinpoint right now, you're going to want to switch and make sure that you get that advantage. SDS last season actually told us when pinpoint came out, they said that if you use pinpoint, there is an advantage when you use it. So you want to try to take advantage of that and use pinpoint. If you absolutely cannot do pinpoint, do not use meter, do not use classic. Make sure you're using pure analog. But guys, make sure you're using pinpoint because you will be able to have the most control in your pitches this way. And if you're not good at it, just keep practicing it. Make sure you're using pinpoint on conquest. You know, when you're grinding offline, just use pinpoint. You will get the hang of it, and I promise you within a month or so you'll feel comfortable with pinpoint. Next, down to pitch feedback, you're going to make sure that that is on pitching view. I always use broadcast right now, but there is another camera out there that you guys will probably want to use. It gives you a better view. We will hit on that later. Pitching ball marker, you're going to want it to be pitch trail fade. Pitch confidence is on, pitch delay normal, and API is off. Okay, so we're in practice mode. I honestly, if you guys are looking to get used to pinpoint and get better with it, I don't recommend practicing in custom practice, because if you hop in here, that's a lot of time that is not being spent on Diamond Dynasty, and it's gonna kind of delay your progression a little bit. So if you're trying to practice pinpoint, I recommend using it in conquest, moments, basically all that offline grinding, mini seasons, all that good stuff. But anyways, we'll start with the fastball here, and I will show you the first thing that I look at in pinpoint. In pinpoint, it'll give you an idea of how fast you should be moving your line when you are chasing this little line to throw your fastball. So you're going to want to watch this little graphic, see how fast it's going, see what line it is following. Obviously, it's following the gray line, but you just want to watch how fast it goes. Try to match that speed, and if you match the speed, you'll be able to get that perfect. So let's try to match that speed real quick. There we go, 94% accuracy. That's good. So next, the next thing that you're gonna make sure you keep an eye on is that little circle at the bottom. Once you see that circle closing up and it's pretty much matching up with the other two lines that are in that circle, as soon as you see that it's about to close, that's when you want to flick it down. There we go, perfect. So in order to get a perfect, the accuracy actually does not need to be at 100%. I believe the threshold is 85%. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it does not need to be 100%. So as you can see there, I kind of missed the line a little bit, and I still got a perfect. So that's another benefit of pinpoint. There's a little bit of room for error, and you can still get that perfect. So we'll try it again. Try to match your line there, 97%. Flick it down as soon as you see that circle close. There we go, another perfect. Okay, so we'll go to our next pitch here, and that is the slider. Oh, graphic design obviously is a little bit different looking. The good thing about this is that every other pitcher that has a slider, they're gonna have the same graphic design that you see in this pinpoint circle. So once you master the slider, you've mastered it for all pitchers. Okay, so again, we're gonna watch that circle, try to match the speed that it just showed us, and then we will flick our stick down as soon as that circle closes up. So there we go, 89%, and I got a perfect. So let's try it again. Match that graphic, 98%. Boom, perfect. So the next pitch is circle change. This is one of the tougher ones out there. The graphic, I don't know why it's so tough, but I think it's just because there's so much movement involved in this pitch. So make sure, same thing, don't let it intimidate you. Watch the speed of the design there and try to match that up. There we go. So we messed it up a little bit, but we were at 90%. So I still had an opportunity to get a perfect, but I missed the circle on the way back down. So try it again. There we go. Perfect. So another thing to note, when you're throwing a pitch and you move it around, your circle there at the bottom is going to move as well. So when you move your pitches, you're gonna need to flick the stick down towards that direction. So we're gonna be aiming on the left side corner here. Now I'm gonna be flicking that stick to the left. So the further out you go, the harder it is. So let's try to do a pitch high and inside. So it's just to the left a little bit, and boom, there we go. So the next thing that I want to go over is your pitch sequencing. What that means is make sure that you're not being too repetitive with your pitches. So if you're seeing that one of your opponents are late on fastballs, do not continue to throw fastballs over and over, because he will eventually get on that ball. So if you're seeing that your opponent is late on fastballs, what I like to do is, say you start with a fastball, right? Throw that, he's late. Okay, so now I'm not gonna throw it again right off the rip. I'm gonna mix something else in there, maybe throw a change up in the dirt and see if he'll chase. And then maybe even throw a slider after that, a little bit out of the zone if he chases again. Or maybe even throw that fastball again. But don't throw the same pitch twice in a row. Try to mix it up. Don't be too repetitive with your pitches. Also, another mistake that people do is they'll, say they'll throw a fastball, and then the next pitch that they throw is a slider, and they'll do that same sequence over and over. Don't do that, because people will try, eventually they'll start to pick up on your tendencies, and they'll know exactly where you're going to be throwing the pitches. So just mix it up, change things up. Don't get in the same sequence over and over. So with fastballs, I like to use this pitch. A lot of the times I'll use this as my very first pitch of the game. A lot of times I will use this as my put away pitch for something that like high and inside. I know SDS said that they're going to patch that and that pitch won't be as successful, but I've been playing ranked seasons and this pitch is still pretty effective. So if you have somebody that's late on fastballs and you're looking to strike them out, look to throw something high and inside. It'll jam them up. They won't be able to get to the pitch fast enough, and they'll probably strike out or get jammed. If you've got somebody that is actually hitting those high and inside pitches and you want to throw a fastball still, throw it outside of the zone a little bit. This pitch still looks like a strike when it's coming in, and they might think that it's that high and inside pitch that they can hit out of the park, but it's out of the zone and that'll actually jam them. So consider doing that as well. Another thing that I would recommend doing is the tunneling method. This method is actually all over YouTube if you want to know more about it, but we're just going to cover the basics today. So basically what tunneling is, it's a pitch that is being thrown and it looks like it's going in the same direction each time, but you'll throw other pitches to kind of throw off your opponent. So for instance, we just threw that high fastball, right? Now we're going to switch up to a cutter, and we're going to try to aim the cutter on the inside corner here. So to the batter, it's going to look like the ball is coming in at the same spot, which it actually is. So the batter could be thinking that the pitch is going to be a high pitch, but it's actually going to cut last second on them and go inside. Now you can also sequence that in there with a sinker. Max Scherzer doesn't have a sinker, so let me try to find a pitcher that has a sinker. Okay, so we found a pitcher that has a sinker and a cutter, which is a perfect combination of pitches to have. So we got that was a horrible pitch. All right, so we throw a fastball right down the middle, right high. I don't recommend doing that, but I just want to show you this example of tunneling. We threw one down the middle, a fastball. Now we want to tunnel the left side a little bit and throw that cutter. So this cutter is actually being released at the same point as that fastball. So the batter's going to be thinking that it's coming in at the same spot and it's going to be that high pitch, but it's actually going to cut to the outside a little bit. So if you have a sinker in this combination as well, this is perfect. So this one cuts in the other direction. So again, it'll look like it's coming in at that high spot. That was a bad pitch. It'll look like it's coming in high, but it'll actually break to the other side. So once you throw that, then you can throw him off and throw him a changeup in the dirt, something like that. So I feel like I explained that really bad, but there are a lot of videos out there that do explain tunneling, and basically what it is, it's just trying to pitch in that same area and making it look like it's going to be in the same spot every time, but in reality it cuts last second out of that spot. So the next pitch that I like to throw a lot is the slider. This is a very effective pitch. I like to throw it just outside of the zone like that. So say we have a lefty batter, I like to throw the slider on the inside part just outside of the zone to try to jam him up a little bit. It's a pretty good pitch. You'll get a lot of people to swing at this pitch because it does look like it's going to be a strike. There's a lot of good pitchers out there that have disgusting sliders. This guy's slider is really bad, actually. It kind of hangs, but there's good pitchers out there that can throw really good sliders. You can also sequence this pitch with a cutter. If you throw a slider, you can go to a cutter next. It comes in a little bit faster and you can try to jam them on that inside zone. Next is your changeup. Changeup is a great put away pitch. I like to use this pitch when I'm ahead in the count, 1-2 count, 0-2 count, anything like that. And I want to try to get my batter or my opponent to chase a little bit. So I'll throw something low, almost in the dirt. A lot of people have a lot of trouble locating low pitches in this game. So don't be afraid to throw something outside of the zone and try to get your opponent to chase a little bit. You can also throw this in the dirt as well, a curveball. Try to keep your curveballs low. A lot of people will chase these, and you want to make sure that this gets in the dirt, because a lot of times if you say you're going for the dirt and you miss the line a little bit in your pinpoint, the curveball will actually hang and it'll be in the strike zone and your opponent will crush it. But this is a good put away pitch as well. Try to keep it low. It'll look like it's coming in high at first, and then they will chase it once it goes down to the dirt. So yeah, when you guys are looking for a good pitcher out there in Diamond Dynasty, you're gonna want to look for somebody that has a pretty good fastball. Obviously, outlier is a big help. You're gonna want a sinker, cutter, and a changeup, and a slider. This is actually the best combination of pitchers or pitches to have. So if you find something like this, I definitely recommend it. And you know, if somebody doesn't have a sinker, as long as they have a slider, fastball, cutter, and a changeup, they're still going to be very effective. But those are the best ones you want to look for. Next is the other pitching view that I was talking about earlier. It is strike zone 2. So let's go into the game here, and I want to show you what strike zone 2 looks like. Okay, so strike zone 2 is the exact same camera as the batter's strike zone 2. The reason why I think this is a great camera to use is look how big the ball is here once you pitch your or pick your pitch. It's a lot bigger, and for whatever reason, when I use this camera, I'm able to dot pitches way better. And I think it's because the graphic is so much bigger and you get a better idea of where exactly your ball is going to be going. I also like using this camera because you get the exact same view as the batter. You can look and see exactly how your pitches are coming in. So if something is hanging a little bit, you'll really be able to see it here, and you can shy away from those pitches. So that slider right there, that doesn't look very good coming in. If I was batting, I'd probably be able to crush that. So with this pitcher, I'd probably stay away from the sliders. So yeah, it gives you a great view on what your pitches look like. I really recommend using this camera if you have a hard time seeing where you're locating balls. The only reason I don't use this is because I have a hard time seeing the pinpoint circle at the top there using this, but I probably will switch back to this at some point because you really dot pitches a lot more when you're using this camera. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for our basic pitching tips. Make sure you're harping on pinpoint pitching. You want to try to practice it as much as you can. Don't jump into custom practice and practice it. make sure you're practicing it on conquest and pretty much any offline grind. You're going to get a lot of repetitions when you do that, and I promise you, within a month, you will start to feel comfortable with pinpoint pitching. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I will probably reply to you pretty fast. And, you know, there's a lot of different tips and tricks out there for pitching. I just want you guys to get the hang of pinpoint, because you will get a huge advantage when it comes to ranked seasons and any kind of online game play. That's going to be it for this video. I appreciate you guys tuning in here. Be sure to subscribe if you guys enjoyed. Throw a like on the video. I'm out of here. Peace.